Ja Morant is standing by his new grenade celebration, despite strong criticism from prominent voices in the NBA on TNT, most notably Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley. In the latest game, after hitting a three-pointer as the Timberwolves were dismantling the Grizzlies, Morant mimed tossing a grenade into the crowd. Smith was particularly scathing, remarking that Morant should leave the celebrations where people might die alone, while Barkley dismissed the move as immature. Yet, amid the backlash, Shaquille O'Neal offered an unexpected show of support, even mimicking an explosion and telling Morant to pull that pin. Morant, who recently debuted this celebration just days after being fined $75,000 for his repeated use of a finger gun gesture, made it clear he's not going to back down. "That's my celebration now until somebody else has a problem with it, and I'll find another one," he stated after Thursday's shoot-around. Given his history with gun-related gestures, he was suspended twice in 2023 for flashing a gun on social media. Morant's defiance seems aimed at solidifying his image as a rebellious, boundary-pushing star. Despite the potential for further disciplinary action from the league, he appears committed to keeping his new celebration as long as it resonates with him, even if it continues to draw criticism from former players and analysts.
What's going on, basketball fans? Ja Morant is once again at the center of attention, this time for a brand new and quite provocative celebration, after recently being fined by the NBA for his finger gun gesture. The Memphis Grizzlies star has debuted a grenade celebration that has already drawn criticism from some of the biggest names in the game, while also receiving support from others. Let's dive into the details of this latest controversy surrounding Ja Morant. The video you sent over highlights Morant's new celebration, which involves him miming the act of tossing a grenade into the crowd after hitting a three-pointer. This gesture was on full display during the Grizzlies game on Thursday, and it didn't take long for the NBA on TNT crew to weigh in with their opinions. And they weren't exactly thrilled. Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith both took Morant to task for the celebration. Barkley called the gesture immature, while Kenny Smith was particularly critical, stating that Morant should leave the celebrations where people might die alone. Smith's strong reaction underscores the potentially negative connotations associated with a grenade, a weapon known for its destructive and deadly nature. However, not everyone was critical of Morant's new move. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal actually voiced his support for the Grizzlies star. O'Neal playfully told Morant to pull that pin, and then even whistled and mimicked the sound of an explosion to simulate a grenade going off. Shaq's reaction suggests that he sees the celebration as harmless fun and perhaps even a bit of playful showmanship. It's important to note the timing of this new grenade celebration. Morant just recently debuted on Tuesday, just days after the NBA slapped him with a hefty $75 fine for repeatedly using a finger gun gesture during games. This previous fine is also significant considering Morant's well-documented history with firearms. He was suspended by the NBA twice in 2023 after flashing a gun in two separate videos on social media, incidents that raised serious concerns about his conduct and image. The video you provided mentions that Morant's past with firearms likely played a role in the NBA's decision to fine him for the finger gun gesture. In their statement announcing the punishment, the league specifically stated that Morant's finger gun taunt could be interpreted in a negative light, highlighting the sensitivity surrounding the issue given his history. The new grenade celebration could certainly fall into that same category of potentially being interpreted negatively, especially considering its violent imagery. However, it seems that the criticism isn't going to deter Ja Morant. According to the Associated Press, prior to Thursday's game, Morant stated that he intends to continue using the celebration. He defiantly said, "That's my celebration now until somebody else has a problem with it. And I'll find another one." Despite Morant's seemingly intentional attempts to provoke the NBA, it remains unclear whether the league will take any further action against him for this new grenade celebration. They have already fined him for a similar gesture, but the imagery of a grenade might be viewed differently by the league office. Regardless of the NBA's potential response, it certainly seems like Ja Morant is prepared to keep pushing the envelope with his celebrations until he is either left alone or the league starts threatening harsher punishments. This latest episode adds another layer to the ongoing narrative surrounding Morant, a supremely talented player whose off-court actions and on-court antics continue to generate significant discussion and debate. What are your thoughts on Ja Morant's new grenade celebration? Do you think it's harmless fun? Or is it inappropriate given his history? Do you think the NBA will take action against him for it? Share your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more NBA news and analysis, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. We'll see you in the next one.
Ja Morant is far from being a victim in the recent controversy over his repeated finger gun gestures. Despite being explicitly warned by the NBA and even receiving technical fouls for the gesture, Morant chose to repeat the behavior during the Grizzlies' 110-108 win over the Miami Heat. Critics argue that his actions, rather than reflecting external pressure or victimhood, reveal a player who either struggles with impulse control on the court or is determined to project a rebellious villain image. The league made it clear that such gestures are unacceptable, citing that they could be interpreted in a negative light, and consequently fined Morant $75,000 after he flashed the finger gun taunt not once but twice during the game. This isn't just a minor infraction. Morant's history with similar incidents, including previous suspensions for gun-related behavior on social media, shows a pattern that the NBA is no longer willing to overlook. Morant's own comments underscore this reality. "I'm kind of used to it," he remarked, referring to his reputation as a villain. But while he seems resigned to playing that role, his actions suggest he's more interested in asserting his individuality than in protecting his long-term legacy. With his on-court heroics, like game-winning shots and dynamic plays, often overshadowed by off-court controversies, the repeated use of the gesture only serves to fuel the narrative that he's self-sabotaging his potential. In today's highly scrutinized league, where every move is magnified on social media, Morant's decision to ignore a clear warning doesn't make him a victim. It positions him as a player who must choose whether to channel his aggression into his game or continue courting controversy. Ultimately, if Morant wants to reclaim his status as one of the elite superstars, he needs to leave these contentious gestures behind and let his performance on the court do the talking.
What's going on, basketball fans? Ja Morant is once again making headlines. And this time it's not for his incredible athleticism or highlight reel plays. The Memphis Grizzlies star has been fined yet again by the NBA. This time a hefty $75 for making a gun gesture on national television. But is Ja Morant a victim in all of this? As some might suggest? According to a recent report, the answer is a resounding no. Let's break down why. The video you sent over makes it clear right from the start.